So I focused in on residential for Oneida and Vilas County off-water sales. And looking at 22 to 23, there's a lot of differences. And that main difference is really going to be about price appreciation and growth, because we are still seeing it. So just one thing to note, I did a lot of research and a lot of the national trends. You know, we've got NAR, we've got Realtor.com, all of them. There's a panel of 100 different professionals across the nation that are all expecting the growth this year to continue. 2.4%, 2025, 2.7, 2026, 3.7. And that's huge growth in even a small marketplace. And then I'll kind of go into the details of that a little bit as well. So what I did, and if you're keeping tabs on the market, the end of December and in December, those rates kind of dipped down a little bit. And we are hearing a lot of talk of more mortgage applications and things along those lines. So I have some stats here that just look at December in general, ending 2023, and what that year-to-date number looked like. And closed listings, they were up by 11% year-to-date for the month of December. But what I thought was interesting on that is new listings. We still had more listings. December is typically quiet because you're not getting in at the end of the year. You're not selling by the end of the fiscal year. You're really closing, as Becky had mentioned, 60 days later or a little bit less than that. But I think that's really important to see that there's a little bit of a buzz even in 1 month with those rates dipping down, which then leads me to my predictions and also the stats from the year prior. When you look at those numbers for 2022 residential, off-water, Vilas and Oneida County, total sales were 533 closed listings. With that, for 2023, there was only 455. So a little bit less in the grand scheme of things, but what's important to note is what those numbers ended at year over year. So the average sale price, and this is a 2.5 bedroom, let's average, right? 2.5 bedroom home, 1.5 bath home on, roughly 3 acres. That's the average. You're getting those bigger ones, you're getting the city lots. The average sale price for all of those 522 properties in 2022 was $234,000. What was that for 2023? Those stats on bedroom size, it doesn't change by much. It's usually about the same. It was $257,000. So what you could have bought in 2022, for all of you that say we're waiting, you just lost, $30,000 just in the average sale price in general. So I think that's important to really see that everybody, including us, are seeing a little bit more buzz, which all leads to hopefully more sales. But that lack of inventory, everybody, everywhere, it's not coming, it's not brand new. We don't have a lot of new construction. Where are we going to see that? Because right now it still comes down across the board, supply and demand. And my predictions for this year is we're still going to have a limited supply, and as those rates, which they're expecting to continue to drop down, are going to increase that demand. And now you've got more people fighting for the same properties, and that's where I believe that 2% year over year, 3% in the next 2 years, we're going to see price appreciation. So on the flip side, buy now, refinance later, and that appreciation and what you're losing on the table by waiting is now you gaining equity in your home year over year.
I think that's interesting. So last year, one of the biggest conversations we had was you were, as a buyer's agent, struggling to get people to jump off of the fence because they wanted to wait for prices to come down and interest rates to come down. And look at what happened. Interest rates didn't come down that much, maybe by the end of the year, 1.5%, but prices went up, inventory stayed low, and people still paid more for their home. Mm-hmm. So I think the lesson there is that if you buy a house, when you find the one you want, you're ready to buy it. Yeah. Because everything it's appreciating. Yeah. It's appreciating, and it's not going to slow down because we just don't have the inventory here. Interesting.
Well, and I think in our market, it's very unique, talking on water versus off water. we've got a lot of people that are moving around the community, that are moving back to the community. It's not necessarily that second home buyer that the rates don't affect their affordability. So when you're looking at off water, you know, that average home price is still in the twos, and that's affordable, and that's just what we're looking at for that price range in general for off water properties.
Yep, that's crazy. Thank you. That was fantastic.